I'm Megan Mitchell. This is my co-host, John Morrison, and you are listening to the True North Racing Podcast.
Time to strap in, pull those belts, and get ready for an action-packed episode of the True North Racing Podcast. Are you ready to unmask? Unhelmet your favorite racers? Get ready for the most fun you'll have outside the racetrack to get you ready for the next race. You're listening to John Morrison and Megan Mitchell, and this is the True North Racing Podcast.
Welcome back to a new episode of the True North Racing Podcast presented by Driving With Hailey. I'm your host, John Morrison. Joining me, as always, is our amazing co-host, Megan Mitchell. Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Not bad. How about you?
It was freaking exhausting. I can tell you that much. having to drive the in-laws to the airport for their vacation, to having my boys for the first time since the wedding. It was a crazy busy weekend. I couldn't ask for a better weekend though.
Yeah.
I just realized, you know what? First of all, I gotta ask, how was the weather down your way this past weekend? Because I know with practice day that was supposed to happen, didn't really happen, but kind of did. And what was the weather like down by you? Because I know you're close to Flamborough.
Yeah, it was rainy. Like yesterday, it was definitely rainy all day. It's like it was pretty steady here, but not heavy.
Yeah.
Today it was kind of the same way up until about like 3-4 o'clock, and then it kind of went away and started drying up a bit, but really damp down here.
Yeah, it was a steady rain yesterday out here in Brampton. And then it kind of tapered off in the afternoon. A beautiful freaking afternoon down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then today it was beautiful morning, hot, and then as we did some of our running around this morning, it started raining a little bit, and then next thing you know, it was just like on and off rain for the rest of the day. And you know, it's unfortunate because we got opening night next weekend. I know a lot of the people are looking for those practice laps to not shake just to shake the rust off. And I know you were looking forward to getting out this past weekend, or were you not going out?
We didn't have intentions of going, just because we don't have a lot of work left to do, but like enough that we were just like, I don't know, wasn't really worth it for us to go out. So I'm going into it Saturday. I'm starting at the back anyway, but
that means that this Saturday, May 4th, Flamborough Speedway gets underway for their 52nd season under ownership of the Caselli family. It is there's already a ton of great classes who are racing. The schedule is looking really phenomenal there. There is so much going on across the province in racing that, you know, we're all excited. Next weekend, there's also oh my God, I'm blanking on it right now. I feel so terrible. We got like Sunset Speedway's got their opening race next weekend. You know, it's such a great time to be a motorsports fan, obviously, because we're going racing again. Yeah, so it's the Steve Slaughter Classic going on May 4th, starting at 3 p.m. at Sunset Speedway. Paul Maltese debuted his car the other day. It's a sharp looking ride. We're riding along with them this year, as Paul was one of our winners with Stickers and Scuffs deal we did back in November. And him and his son Connor's was at Motorama. His cars look phenomenal, and so does Paul's now. And I can't wait to. It's a nice brown though. It's like when it's darker, it's like a brown, but when it's to the lighter, it's more of an orange.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool that way.
You know whose I really liked that revealed theirs was Cole Burrows. I felt like that was a different. Like I was expecting black and pink, and when I saw that, I'm like, "Ooh, wow, I like that."
I kind of have to laugh a little bit, only because it's the same colors as Joe Media. were red, black, and gray, and what a
That's true.
great year to be a part of their program.
Yeah.
Because this year, Cole Burrows is one of our Joe Media drivers. He is under a beefy banner this year. Um, he works a great looking car. He ended up getting out on track today too. Actually, I saw earlier today that he was able to make a few laps. So I gotta trying to see which track he actually made it to. Holy crap, where'd it go? I
I'm gonna
love it
guess
when
Sunset, but I'm not really sure.
I love when I start looking. It was probably Sunset. Yeah, there's Sunset. 'Cause there's the pit wall there. Great looking car.
Mhm.
We're gonna have it up on joemedia.ca here shortly because we of course it's that time of the year. It's one of the busiest times of the year for me as we prepare for the upcoming season. And
Mhm.
I know sometimes it's a little hard as racers finish getting their finishing touches done on their car. Um, I know Megan, you put out a post today looking possibly for vinyl work. Get a hold of Jay Wilds.
I might have to. I have
Does great work.
one more go in me.
One more go.
Yeah.
Uh, it's we're getting so close. Cars being unveiled. Um, that kind of begs the question a little bit. When should cars be ready to go?
Well, in a typical fashion of most drivers, it's the week of. But when should they actually be ready to go? Like, honestly, I think Motorama is a good point because I mean, if you want to have your car at Motorama, you can. But
Exactly.
I'd say at least a month before that way, because there's always going to be those little bugs that come up, and it's it sucks figuring that out the week of. That's kind of what we're doing right now, but it's a good thing we're finding these things out. But I'd say 3 weeks to a month in advance is
See,
perfect if you can do that.
see, the way I look at it is you can have the looks ready for
Yeah,
Motorama
yeah. Oh, for sure.
because that's all that matters. No one's gonna walk by, lift up now. Of course, we do see a lot of people hang out, and of course, they're lifting up the hoods. They're taking a look at because the drivers are there, so they're asking questions. Um,
Mhm.
but we've seen people. I've heard Jake Gilbert brought his late model the one year. They dropped the nose on it, and there was no motor in the car.
Hmm.
I heard there was no drivetrain in there. So it can be done where
Yeah.
you just have the presentation of the car ready to go. And sometimes it's just simple, like just something like that.
Hmm.
But you're right though, like about a month you kind of want to be ready to go because once the weather clears up, tracks will allow you to come practice
Yeah.
because they want to start making money again,
Exactly.
you know. Um like I said, it's going to be an action-packed weekend with Flamborough and Sunset getting underway. Who at Flamborough this year? Who are you looking towards in each division as a notable driver in that class? Could be more than one person.
I'm kind of biased on some of these because
And you
okay,
can't say yourself.
no, oh frig no. um the three divisions that I mostly pay attention to are the CVMs, the mini stocks, and the pure stocks. So CVMs, I'm obviously always rooting for Scott Tonelli, but there's a few guys that I think have a good chance, but it's I'm definitely rooting for him and Jay Pepin. I'd love to see them come out on top. Mini stocks, I heard Matt Young is coming back. At least that's what I've seen on Facebook. I'm
Yeah.
assuming. So if that's true, Matt is always one to watch. Caitlin, I obviously have to. I'm always rooting for her. She was so close last year, and I think she can do it. And Mike Thompson, that guy's he's great. He has the opportunity.
Like, yeah.
I mean, pure stocks, I don't know. It's a steady field. Like, it's kind of one of those divisions that I feel like everybody has a good opportunity. And obviously, I think like my dad and my brother, especially from my team, have a good shot. But without in choosing one of us, I honestly think Spencer Riddell has what it takes. Like, he was so close last year and he's so determined that like I think he could get it done. But Jordan Wilms was also right there too. So I'm gonna have my eye on those two for sure.
And what about the prolates?
Mm, who's gonna be running the prolates this year?
Ty Cavlin's gonna be making a couple appearances. Roland Goodfellow has moved from the mini stocks up to there.
Mm.
Um, he was out there testing today. I'm just trying to think. The 27. Um, oh, why am
Is
I
that
Kevin Albers?
I was gonna say, is that Elbers? I honestly get like the super stocks and the prolates mixed up anymore. Like I'm so
They're
bad with
becoming so close to like it's
yeah.
unreal.
I I think Elders and Cavallin. I'm gonna
Now,
watch them.
Cavlin's not going to be racing much. He's going to be competing for the track championship up at Sauble
Oh
this
right.
summer, but he is going to be making his way down to Flamborough starting next weekend to kick off his season to gear up before he's going to be making I think 2 or 3 appearances. I think maybe even 4 appearances at you know what? Why assume when I could just pull up the website?
Yeah.
Because it's not like I have a website that has all this information. If you guys want to find out more, joemedia.ca. Um, we're gonna get this pulled up real quick. We're gonna continue that conversation just after we get through here. But I want to make sure here. Say 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's gonna be racing about 3 nights before he starts going full time up at Sauble.
Okay.
And then he'll sprinkle in a few Flamborough dates in there, but it'll all be here and there and kind of what the deal is. Um, before we continue on here, of course, we got to do our Driving with Hailey vehicle spotlight. This week we are being presented with a beautiful, beautiful rig. It is a 2021. Uh-oh, friggin' lost that part now. It is a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe. Is it Chevrolet or is it GMC? Chevrolet Tahoe. Uh, it is a beautiful looking ride, as you guys are seeing in the pictures right here up on the screen. For anyone listening on our other platforms, we do have a video option over on YouTube, Joe and Media and Promotions. You guys can check out this as well as you guys check out Joe Media on Facebook and Instagram. We do have a post coming up shortly showing this vehicle as an air vehicle spotlight. So it's a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe. Has 120,352 kilometers on it. It's got third row seating. It's seats 8. It's a V8. It's 5.3 liters. It's got trying to look here real quick. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android, and that's one of the things I'm actually missing in the van right now because I have to throw out an aux cord, and then if I want to talk on the phone, I have to use the aux.
Yeah.
So that's okay. It's 4-wheel drive. It's got 8-cylinder. It even seats 8 people.
Nice.
Imagine all the people you can put in there. Uh, it's got a
You
tow
know,
hitch already, power passenger seat, park assist, leather interior, third row seating, power driver seat, keyless ignition. It is, like I said, one beautiful looking ride. Uh, Contact Hailey Hill today and get yourself in for a test drive. Like I said, it is one beautiful looking rig. Um, and of course, we trust Hailey Hill here at Joe Media and Promotions, as my minivan is actually I purchased from Hailey a year and a half ago, and like I said, it's a beautiful looking car. Um, if you guys are looking to get in contact with Hailey, you guys can contact her at hhill@rightride.ca, or you can call her at 289-808-2828. If you guys follow her on Facebook, it's Driving with Hailey. she she shares our vehicle spotlights each week. She also highlights her own vehicles that she also has on extra vehicles she has on a lot. So maybe if you don't like the vehicle that we're looking at, she can get you into a ride of your choosing. And they also deliver anywhere in Ontario.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got it delivered
I
right
know
to
that.
my workplace.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, I trust Hailey. You should too. Get a hold of her today and get yourself a new ride if you guys are looking for one. She can help you with bad credit, no credit, whatever the situation is. She can help you out. Um, as we're just about to get into this week's guest. We are going to be joined by the driver, the number 95 mini stock over there at Brockville, Ontario Speedway. We got Zac Lynch joining us. Check this out. Joining us this week in our graphic design studio guest segment of the week, we got Zac Lynch joining us. Zac, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How was your weekend?
Busy.
What'd you get up to?
Lots of maintenance on my truck.
Getting it ready for the season?
Yeah, getting it ready to pull.
Uh, for anyone, because you are like I said, I think I posted that earlier. You are our furthest eastern driver we are working with this year. You're racing out at Brockville, Ontario Speedway, and also at Cornwall Speedway. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm 22 actually, as of yesterday, and
Happy birthday! Happy belated
thank you,
birthday!
thank you. And yeah, I'm just started racing 2021, but I've always grown up at the track and not the dirt track, asphalt track, but I'm now a dirt racer, so that's about it.
That seems to be the way a lot of people are going now. They they grew up asphalt and they fell in love with dirt, and it's like, well, this seems like a lot more fun.
Yeah, I didn't really have a choice, but yeah, our asphalt track closed local to us. So
Yep.
closest is Brockville and Cornwall, which Brockville's about an hour and a half. Cornwall's about 2 hours.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So
still got to
it's
hike.
a it's a hike, but it's worth it for sure.
Now, to be fair, down over here, we do actually have someone who drives pretty far just to come race, like a local division over at Flamborough in the Canadian Vintage Modifieds. Jessica James is driving from Peterborough each week,
Oh wow.
so like that's a 2 hour drive to get to Hamilton.
Yeah.
So I really hope they take the 407 because I save them a lot of time on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that's awesome, man. So, growing up in, we've talked a little bit about this, and of course, we wanted to save a lot more for the show because it's more fun when we all get to learn.
Yeah.
So you got involved in racing through your dad, right?
My dad, my uncle, and my cousin. Yeah.
And they all raced. I'm gonna assume Capital City.
Yeah.
So out there, they were running what division?
So my uncle and my cousin were in mini legends,
What are
which were
mini?
before legend cars.
So are they like exactly what a legend car is? Just or what
So
was there a
you'll have
difference?
to look it up, but they race them in Quebec on road courses now,
Hmm.
mainly. But they were mini legends that had, or sorry, they were legend cars, but they were metal bodies instead of fiberglass, I guess, or whatever they are now. And they had bumpers that stuck out past the tires, and they were a lot stronger.
Hmm. I'm trying
They were
to
the
like.
same same engines and everything like that, same setups, but they were just like before the legend car was like made, I guess, or like became a thing.
Huh, that's
Like
kind of interesting.
very early 2000s, like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. I'm gonna have to try and look see if I can find it because all I'm getting is a lot of legend cars.
I can send you a picture after whatever, but
Please do. I'd love to see that.
I have
I'd
lots
love
of
to include that.
pictures from the capital city back in the day.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I love the pictures, the old nostalgia.
Please feel free to send me if you like take a picture of them and send them my way. I'd love to see because obviously, I've never got to see Capital City Speedway. I've never even been out. I've been out Ottawa way one time, twice in my life. Once was to go to Quebec City, and one was to go to the um frick Parliament Hill in Ottawa.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the only two times I've ever been out that way. So
yeah,
I love seeing old pictures of racetracks, especially ones that are now defunct. Um, they bring such a passion to me, and hell, when we're trying to get a freaking series going here on the channel about finding old racetracks and walking around them, and even old race cars. So
yeah,
with a couple of friends of mine. So any information would be great to for you to send our way.
yeah, for sure.
Uh, so yeah, growing up at the racetrack, so when did your race, you told me you're racing the third Dodge Neon your dad ever made?
The third mini stock he ever built, they were all neons and they all had the Lightning McQueen paint scheme.
Okay, so why did they, okay, now this is gonna throw me off a little bit. Why did they all have why did every car he ran have the Lightning McQueen paint scheme? Was it just a favorite
So
movie of his, or?
when he built the first car, that's when the first movie came out.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of an attraction to get the kids to like racing more and his car more.
I was gonna ask about that, if that brings a lot of like attention and fan base
Oh
towards.
yeah,
So I can
a
imagine.
lot. Yeah, even like when I just started last year, I was going to the track and people were yelling out the window, like kind of like kids were like yelling and taking pictures and stuff.
That'd be so
all
cool.
all you hear
Yeah,
going down the road, Lightning McQueen.
someone actually yelled, an adult actually yelled out the window at me one time as loud as he could, "Ka-chow!"
Ah, that's awesome.
And I was like, I just had to laugh.
That's awesome.
Now you do tow your car on an open trailer, right?
Yeah, obviously, yeah,
Yeah. So that's where all these interactions happen, is right on the road,
yeah,
eh?
yeah,
That is awesome. Now, this is a question I kind of want to ask people, because with an open trailer, I feel like there's a lot that you can play with. You're giving your sponsors, um, great,
yeah.
great extra exposure for just driving down the road.
Mhm.
Now, do you have anything on your rear bumper that says like "Follow me to Blink Speedway"?
So I have a follow me to Capital City Speedway sticker.
Oh, that is so
Well,
cool.
yeah, my dad put it on there, but it's still on there.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That's what I like to see. I like, I'm trying to get Megan over here to do the same thing to her car, because she runs pure stocks over here at Flambro, and I think there's some space on that rear bumper that you can pull this off.
We've talked about that, or even getting like a flag to pin on the back of it that says
Yeah.
Flamborough Speedway. My dad used to do it
yeah,
like back in the day. He had a big sign that went on the back of his car because it was an open trailer, and it
yeah.
worked.
It's great. So okay, so how about this then? Let's talk about how you got into the dirt racing side. How did that come about for you?
So basically, it's a long story, but
Oh,
I,
please, we got time.
so my dad actually tried to sell the car back when the track closed, and I convinced him to keep it because I knew eventually I wanted to use it, but kind of without him knowing in a way. But so he unfortunately passed away in 2021, and 2022 I decided to take it out and see what I could like see how I could fix it up and get it ready because a lot of the rules were changed from then till now, safety wise.
Yeah.
But so I got it all ready and with a lot of help, but and then I was like, well, where am I going to go? Because Peterborough is 2.5 hours, and then I'm like Brockville's an hour and a half, so I decided to try the dirt, which obviously I've never even been there before, just because of Capital City and like the asphalt guys didn't want to go to Brockville, and the Brockville guys didn't want to come to Capital City. But so yeah, I just decided to try that out instead.
And obviously it's kind of worked out for you.
yeah, it's been awesome so far. Like only running one season, but
And
so far so good.
how many races did you run last year?
Around 10.
Okay, that's a pretty
So
respectable season.
it's every other weekend down here for us,
Okay.
just because we have to share the track. Like we they brought the sprints in last year, the crate sprints, and
Yep.
then so they split street stock and mini stock to every second weekend,
Okay.
just to keep it shorter, not a long night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what is because you're like Eastern Ontario, what is the mini stock division like up there? I don't know if you know, like compared to our.
It's it's pretty much the same. It's like they call it mini stock or comp four. So
Mm.
it's basically an open four cylinder class. Like there is a rules, but like you're allowed pretty much any four cylinder car earlier than a certain year. And
Right.
you're allowed six cylinders on dirt, obviously.
Okay.
And
But
this, sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Um, and you were we've talked about how there's the Eastern Ontario mini stock series, which you say is driver funded.
It's pretty much completely driver funded. And it's a 2 and 2, so it's two at Brockville, two at Cornwall.
Okay.
And some guys choose just to run the series. Like we have guys from Quebec that'll come down just to run the series, but you do have to meet our rules, which our rules are compatible with Brockville, Cornwall, and Mohawk,
Okay.
which is just across from Cornwall
Okay.
in the States.
Right.
Okay. So how, because I want to learn more about this, is how is it, so like what is it like, what is a points fund like for you guys? Like how much do you have to throw into the pot to make this work?
So it's completely up to the drivers. Like I think because I donated, so we have two spots for perfect attendance, which is $100 each.
Okay.
So if you come to all four races and whoever's highest um, for perfect attendance gets $100 each for two drivers. So I funded that, and then we have two drivers down in Cornwall that pretty much funded the whole series points fund,
Really?
just to be able to make people want to come and race with us.
Okay, that's awesome. So like
Yeah.
is there like even like a Facebook page people can follow like to check out the series, or is it up to the tracks themselves?
So the tracks promote it,
Okay.
but the driver we like a lot of the drivers do promote it as well. Like we'll share the stuff on Facebook, or there is a
That's
schedule out that I have on my account there.
that's awesome. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I was gonna say we have it up now, I think, up on joeandmedia.ca. I'm sure I'm gonna take a look at that real quick, make sure I do have it up. No, honest, no, this is the thing. I'm gonna make a little announcement here if y'all don't mind for a second. I a few weeks ago here, 3 weeks ago, if that, I decided I didn't like the website. I I looked at it one night, I'm like, I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at it one night, I was like, I hate this. I'm gonna change it. So I have started building a brand new website that I'm gonna move everything to once it's complete. And I was really hoping I'm gonna have it done before the beginning of the season, but I'm not. But your schedule is up on joemedia.ca under your profile there. So yeah, you got May 11th, 19th. 19th is your first race with that by the looks of it over there at Cornwall.
Yeah.
Um, you gotta it's not I like it that on my birthday you guys have an autograph night at Brockville. That's kind of cool. Uh,
Yeah, that was awesome last year. That was the first time I was actually on the driver's side of that,
what
obviously, and it was just crazy for me.
I'm gonna assume you had a lot of the kids coming up to you going
Yeah,
lightning and that's so cool. And
yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that yeah. So like with the fact that your car is Lightning McQueen, which of course kids, it's so crazy that almost 20 years later this is like a freaking
Mhm.
cars isn't going away anytime soon.
No. for
which is
sure.
awesome. And like the fact that the last movie came out in like 2016, like
Yeah.
it's been a while since that movie 26 like 2018 I think it came out. And to be fair, I'm gonna be honest. Anyone who's listening, number three is the best one. Y'all can fight me on it. Number three is the best one, hands down. Um, so yeah, you guys got your season coming up starting here soon on May 11th. Um, you guys are 2 weeks out, man. How are you feeling going into the season?
I'm nervous, but we are actually our practice is next Saturday, so that's gonna be good for me anyway.
Now, how far out are you on the car from being ready?
I just have sponsor stickers and a little bit of paint.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Megan, where can you compare to him?
I'm about the same way right now.
If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, it might not have been the same story.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just comes it just comes really quick, you know.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
no, it's yeah, next week. So next weekend's practice night. You know,
yeah.
it's frick, man. Arthur, yeah, because Oswego and I'm trying to think. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, it's kind of early. It feels like early for the dirt races to kind of start.
A
That's
little bit.
I think it's because we usually get rain in the first like 2, 3 weeks are rained out. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why I think it's early. But uh, tell us a little bit about Brockville Speedway. Why don't you tell us a little bit of like what size is it? Um, what kind of track it is to you guys, and how like is it hard to drive? Is it easy to drive? Kind of stuff like that.
So I believe it's 3/8 mile, and it's pretty high banked in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 is a little flatter. But for me, I was last year was more of like a learning curve for me because I was just trying to learn how to drive on dirt because obviously I'd never done it before, and so I was mostly staying towards the bottom or middle and just letting the guys go around me without touching me. But
Mhm.
um, it's pretty fun. Like if you get up by the top of 1 and 2, like a lot of guys will hang their right rear tire off the top of 1 and 2 and just keep the momentum going. But overall, it's pretty fast tracked when it gets dry and at the end of the night.
That's not terrible. You know, it's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with getting a little dry track. So the races out there, you guys run about what 20, 25 laps each night, or
Usually 20, but the series are 25.
okay, that's all right. Um,
Mhm.
how so like I know some mini stocks like a lot of divisions, especially out here, they require a mini stock to be a minimum of 10 years old before they are allowed to come onto the track. Is there is there in the same kind of rule in place that you guys where it has to be a certain age before it can come on the track?
Yeah, so it can't be any newer than I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's around 2010
Okay.
That's
that
respectable.
it
Mhm.
can't be any newer. I might be wrong, but
I
yeah,
got
I can't remember.
I got the perfect car sitting in the driveway. I can do that too. Megan's laughing because she knows I have my wife drives a 2010 Chevy Cobalt.
Okay, perfect.
So that's why I joke with that. Um, but no, it seems like such a cool little track. Uh, I've seen some videos from there. It does look pretty racy. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know much about dirt. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still learning as much as I can, and because I was literally sitting there the other, whoa, 2019, and I came across G-Force and what they were doing at Oswego, and ever since then, I was like, you know what, I can get into this dirt stuff. I like how they hang out the right rear on the sprint car, and it's being able to watch the mini stocks and the thunder stocks, and it's not just it's local guys, right?
Hmm.
It's the same deal. It's not like it's the big touring divisions like World of Outlaws or anything like that. it's the local guys. It's nice to be able to watch those guys get recognition. Um, do you now by chance, do you guys have any people like that out your way that do record some of the races for y'all?
We have a lot of photographers.
Yep.
Um, there's not many people that take videos. We have one of the drivers' wives does Facebook Lives for all the races for us, just so we can watch it back. But it's more so photographers that we have. We have a few guys that are really good.
I was gonna say, I think some of the photos I've used have been from those guys that you guys use out
Yeah.
there. Why don't you give a shout out to some of the photographers out there so that way we can reach more of the share more of the love to our photographers out there.
So the first guy actually comes from Capital City. Um, he was he was a bit younger when he was there, but he's older now. But Rowdy and Reckless Photography is his name, and then we have there's a few other guys. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but Tyler, his name's Tyler at Rowdy and Reckless, and he's really good. He does Cornwall, Brockville. I think he might even go into Quebec sometimes too.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you, like growing up at the track? Like some of your favorite memories?
So for me, it was because they race Wednesday nights there. So it was during my summers. I was there every Wednesday night and just running around the pits. Like I was super young when I was there, obviously,
Mhm.
but just like talking to all the drivers and a lot of the drivers, like my dad was friends with a lot of the mini stock guys. They were all a little group kind of, and they'd help each other out. But yeah, it's just like I would go with my dad and me and him, and like it was just awesome. Like I miss that track a lot.
Yeah, that'd be good memories.
Yeah,
All right, we're gonna take a quick second here. We're gonna get into our uh tailored to you meeting design fan question period. As you saw earlier today, we announced that you were coming on the show tonight, and of course, we got a question for you. You ready to answer it?
for sure.
All right, Megan, take it away.
Okay. William underscore Trillium asked, what division would you like to run if you could?
That's a good question. They don't really run down here a lot, but in Quebec they run the mod lights, which are like small mods, obviously, but they run like
Mhm.
the three-cylinder Toyotas, I think, or something like that. But I don't think they've ever had them at Brockville, but they've had them at Cornwall, and they're really sweet to watch. Or they have Lightning Sprints, which are the same motors, but they're just smaller sprint cars. I've always liked the kind of legend cars, that size of car. I've always wanted to try, but never got to.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Um, well, that is our tailored to you meeting design fan question period. Of course, thank you everyone who submitted questions. And of course, make sure you guys tune in every Sunday to see who our next guest will be. And make sure you drop your questions in the comment section below. And then we will ask our guest that week. Of course, we got to thank Zach here for taking the time and answering that question for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh,
I was just gonna,
what?
building off that question, do you have any like thoughts or I guess like goals of moving up into any other divisions or trying any other divisions?
I would like to eventually move up to maybe like a modified or sportsman, but it's just right now obviously I can't. Like the money is crazy for those, but
Oh,
I honestly the mini stocks like when I used to go and watch like 2021, I went to during COVID I went to watch Brockville and I went to watch like the mini stocks because they're just like at Brockville I feel like the most action is in the four cylinders.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Uh, I do have I want to switch up here a little bit because Megan, I'm gonna steal your question because I know this is a question. Or you know what, Megan, why don't you ask your question? You
I feel
usually
like
ask it.
anymore.
This is what?
I feel like I never ask it anymore,
So I'm
actually.
gonna give you the chance to ask it here.
Yeah. So is there like you said your dad had the Lightning McQueen car to begin with?
Yeah.
So was there like a meaning behind the 95 or was it solely Lightning McQueen?
So before he picked that paint scheme, he ran Four for Fun was the first class he ran, which is like bone stocks.
Okay.
It's the same thing, but just different name. And then so he ran a blue car that was number 72. That was my uncle's car that he built, and then my cousin drove it too. So I was kind of like a family car that
Okay.
everyone kind of drove and it got passed through. But and then after that, he drove a mini legend as well. Like my uncle, my cousin, and my dad were all in the same class for a year, and it was number one. And then I think the Lightning McQueen like solely came from the movie. I think because
Okay.
he always changed them. Like he never had the 95 before that,
Oh, okay.
but after that, it stuck.
Yeah. Nice.
That's always good though when you got like you kind of come up with something like that and it just kind of sticks. Instead,
Mhm.
now I know you've kind of grown attached to it and stuff like that, but if you were to choose a number for yourself, what number would it be?
So I mean, it's hard to choose another number, but I always thought that 72 would be cool. Just going back to the family kind of everyone ran that number. But other than that, my favorite number's always been 95 growing up.
Were you a
So,
well, you were what? Like you were what? Born 2002?
Yeah.
Jesus.
so it's the same age as Chase. So I know when Chase was growing up, it was cars, everything. So
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah,
I
that was
feel
me for
old.
sure.
So this is, I
Yeah.
don't believe anyone after who's born after 2000 is real. I'm sorry. Like it's just I because I feel old then. Like I just don't want to feel old. I'm 30. I'm only 31.
Oh, you're not that much older than me.
Uh, no, shut up. You, I got 10 years on you, man. I was in grade 5 when you were born.
Yeah.
I got 5 years on Megan over here. I got 5 years on my wife. I'm 5 years older than her. Hell, this is just like being at home. I am at home, but my sister-in-law is 10 years younger than me too. So I mean, like she's a 2002 baby as well. So it's just funny. Um, I know she's gonna listen to this and she's gonna come kill me on Tuesday night after I get home. And the only reason she listens, Megan, the only reason she listens to our show is because of you.
Oh my God.
She told me that. Amy told me that she only listens to our show because of you.
I feel special.
Uh, so obviously this year you got how many races are you running again? How many races you got on your schedule before I go back and look at the schedule?
It's around it's around the same, 10 or 11, I think.
Now, are you comfortable with running like 10, 11 races a year?
I I prefer like every second weekend
Okay.
just because it gives me a little bit like if anything happens, it gives me a little bit of leeway
Yes.
Oh, for
to
sure.
fix the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like last year, thankfully I didn't have any really major problems, but I still like having like a weekend in between just to do other stuff.
That's
Okay.
understandable. You know, it's nice when you got a little bit of a break as well like that because when when you're racing every single weekend, Megan I know can attest to this because she's got 21 races this summer.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
way
pretty
too many.
nice. Double features.
And that's double features.
Wow.
42 races.
Wow.
It's gonna be a busy year for that team over there. And they got 4 cars coming out of their stable. Um Out of there's what 20 you're running 21 out of 24 races this year? 24
23.
race night, 23 race nights?
Yeah.
Like that's just sometimes I look
Wow.
at schedules and be like, damn, that's why I've been curious if you were comfortable with running just like 11 races. But
Yeah.
I completely understand because I know my
Mhm.
wife, she didn't get into racing until she met me. And
Hmm.
then 2021, was it 2021? She really started coming to the track with me. And by halfway through the year, because we had a 4 in a row, a week off, and then we had a 5 in a row.
Wow.
We had 9 weeks with only 1 week break. And by the end of that ninth, by the end of that ninth week, we were just like we were zombies.
Yeah.
It was just like, what are we doing here? And I'm only doing social media. I'm not even racing.
Yeah.
I'm just doing social media, and I was wore out. Um, because I know some people like to run more, some people like to run less. It all kind of depends on kind of what they're feeling like, you know. Um, it's because I don't what's the length of the seasons out your way, by the way? Like what help us fill us in a little bit because we're not I don't want to say we're ignorant, but we're ignorant to the fact we don't know much about the Eastern Ontario racing scene.
So yeah, like our schedules, I don't know, like the big classes run every week, and then we run every second weekend, and I mean, I like it. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just
Eh,
like the
no,
break.
hey,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
I could find like if I wanted to race like more, I could find somewhere like Brighton races the weekends that we're off, or like Autodrome Granby or something in Quebec. They usually race on our off weekends, but
Yeah, they're
I don't feel the need to like travel that far.
Yeah.
nothing, hey, nothing wrong with it. It's it's great when you're able to take the time off, really enjoy time with the family, with the friends, because I know like with Megan, her and I, we don't get to see very much of each other throughout the summer, and we try to
Hmm.
we the off season is when we try to get together just to hang out because I know
Mhm.
once as of this past
Yeah,
weekend,
Um,
yeah,
you want to what when you know where
yeah,
I'll be.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I look at people whose schedules are like that many races, like, that just seems weird, but no, absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's great that you wanted to spend time. Um, I want to give, so I want to give you the next few minutes here. Oh, actually, by the way, actually, no, before we do that, I gotta ask you, where did the idea for the fire suit come up? Where did the idea for the
So
fire suit come from for you?
so my crew chief, he races as well, but he races in an off-road series in Ontario,
Okay.
and we went to their banquet in the fall, and I won 50% off that suit in a raffle
Oh, shoot.
in a fully custom double air suit
oh wow.
Nice. That's awesome.
from it's from Epic, obviously.
Yeah. Megan, have you seen it?
I think I've seen it in one of the pictures you posted.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's I'm gonna find it real quick here. No, honestly, it is such a cool looking fire suit. It's you know, when he's doing that, I can tell you this much, when he's doing his autograph night,
Yeah,
he is gonna be looking sharp standing out there.
I have to give the credit to my girlfriend. She made my logo. So
That's
Oh, did she
awesome.
I mean,
really?
without yeah, she I have it on my shirts and then obviously on the suit.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna find this real quick for Megan so I can send it over to her. Um uh yeah, once I find it here. How was it working with Dan Bailey though? To get the suit for you?
It was awesome. Like he was really good. Anything I wanted, like he would send me pictures and like examples and stuff like that.
That's good. It's always nice uh when you got a chance to work with someone who really is patient and make sure that it is exactly
Yeah,
what you were looking for, you know?
yeah, it was awesome.
Dan's good to work with. I
Yeah,
actually
he
just
was awesome.
dealt with
Very
him.
good.
I've dealt with Dan a few times and he's been pretty good when we've dealt with him for like our stickers and stuff like that. He's done a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
Frick, my computer's taking an extra second here for some reason. I just sent you over the picture now, Megan, so you can take a look at it.
Okay.
Uh but while Megan's taking a look at it real quick, I want to give you the next few minutes here, Zach. You can thank your family, you can thank your friends, you can thank your sponsors, you can thank um your great grandparents from on your mom's side that's twice removed, who came over from I don't know where y'all are from, but came over from Ireland. The beard's kind of giving me an Ireland vibe for some reason.
Yeah,
Uh,
a little
uh
bit.
you, you got the floor for the next few minutes here and to thank anyone you want.
Perfect. There's a few. Um, First, I'm gonna thank my mom and dad, and I gotta thank my girlfriend for all she does, letting me race and everything. It's not always the easiest, but letting me work on the car and all that late nights. But my crew chief Hayden, without him, I probably wouldn't be out there, to be honest. He's essentially my mechanic. But his wife Chelsea, Brandon's another uh, crew chief guy, part of my team. His wife Larissa and my aunt, sorry, my uncle and cousin Norman Chris, and my sponsors, Brandon McMillan, James Clark, Landstorm Contracting, Buck Construction, and Wade and Sheena at Strickland Tire.
Awesome.
That's awesome, man. Where can they find you guys on social media to keep up to date with all your latest racing ventures?
Facebook, I think my username is just Zac Lynch. Instagram Zac Lynch 95, and that's all I have.
All right. Well, make sure you guys follow him on Facebook and Instagram so you guys can stay up to date on all the latest going on. You guys can also check out his page over there on dronemedia.ca. We are going to be having some downloadables coming out soon. We are also going to have we're going to have a race day poster ready for you here shortly. So that way, when you go racing, you got a picture you can post each week to show. I can't remember did I already do yours or no?
I can't
No,
remember.
I don't think I've done yours yet. I'm working down my list, you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, but I'm going by the car numbers.
yeah,
Yours,
I'm last.
yours, no, you're surprisingly not last. Megan's my second last. I thought no one was gonna beat her. And then I got a road course guy whose number is 277.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you are down there, but you are not. There's what 90. I got 95. You're 95. I got 96 with Donovan Price. I got
yeah,
97 with Megan Mitchell, and then I go to 277. So you guys are at the tail end of my line, but I'll get there this week. I promise. Okay. Uh, but Zach, we do want to thank you so much for joining us this week on the True North Racing Podcast. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Um, Good luck this season. We're looking forward to working with you, and we can't wait to see what you do this year.
thank you a lot.
You have yourself a good night, okay?
You too.
All right, bye now. All right, and we're back with it from our guest that we had on our graphic design studio. Guest of the week, we had Zac Lynch. Of course, we got to thank Zach for joining us this week, and of course, we got to thank Taylor to Media Design for being the presenting sponsor of our fan question period. A few things we have to go over. You guys are going to be now hearing us on the radio. Last week we entered a media agreement partnership with True House Sports Radio up in Sault Ste. Marie. they reached out to us and we had a quick conversation about putting the True North Racing podcast on their station, and pretty quickly it was a done deal. And so we are, if you guys are listening to this on the True House Sports Radio, thank you guys for tuning into the True North Racing podcast presented by Driving with Hailey. We appreciate you guys, and we hope you guys tune back in each and every week to find more about, because we're going to be talking about next week. We got racing. We got lots of racing to talk about. Megan's going to be able to dissect Flamborough Speedway for us. And of course, there's so much more going on across the province that we're going to be able to talk about, because even next week I got to talk about May 10th, as that's my first night at the racetrack.
Yeah.
So there's lots going on. It's racing season's kicking up. In the coming weeks, for you Northern Ontario fans, we got Jonathan Peters joining us from Laird Speedway. I'm hopefully gonna get a couple more drivers lined up as well, so that we can have a nice conversation with each driver, find out more about Laird Speedway. Sorry, not Speedway, Raceway. Which, by the way, I do have my shirt for anyone visually watching this on YouTube. I have. Oof, that's the first time I punched that. I have a Laird Raceway t-shirt actually hanging. You can't see it because it's actually behind me, but hanging on my doorknob back over there. I need to put. You know what? I'm going to put it over there starting next week.
Yeah.
So it can be in the picture. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, we're going to be having them on in a couple weeks here, talking more about Laird Raceway, find out more about Northern Ontario racing. I'm excited for those because it looks like such a cool track. I want to get to it so bad. Jacqueline and I were joking that it's going to be a 2025 road trip for us. We're going to take a couple of vacation days and go up there next year.
That'd be cool though.
Thursday night, I'd love to go this year. I just don't have the vacation days anymore because of Motorama.
That's
Jacqueline
true.
and I are going away on a honeymoon in November. We're tapped out. I'm tapped out this year. I would love to go though. It's just 6 hours it's a 6 hour drive for me. So that's make it 7 or 8, but it says 6.5 hours according to my GPS right now. But no, we got some of that stuff coming up. Megan, with the season coming up here, obviously we're looking so forward to, again, before we get into further this, thank you to True House Sports Radio for putting us on the air. I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys tune in each and every week. If you guys want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you guys can. Joe Media and Promotions. You guys are going to be able to catch the latest episodes by listening to True House Sports Radio, and even by following us. And check out joemedia.ca. Right there, we got our drivers page. We got, what else? We got news. We're gonna have, oh boy, are we gonna be having lots of news coming out here soon. This is gonna be a stressful week for me, because it will be our first Georgetown Printing Jomo Media driver lineup of the year. I got to get this done. I got to figure out who's racing where, and I got everyone's schedule. I don't know what I'm worried about, but it's
still a lot.
It's still a lot of work. I get tired.
You gotta go through and figure out, like, okay, you're not. Like, that's a lot.
I gotta just make sure everyone's where they're racing that night. That's the only thing. There's still so much going on this year that we can't wait to get to. The Flamborough, you guys are going to be killing it over there at Flamborough. We're going to be talking each and every week with you guys about what happened at Flamborough. What is the latest news? We can even talk about the feature winners as well. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'll be one of them.
Maybe.
I shouldn't say, just kidding.
You know what?
Be positive.
Okay, this is it. We've been trying to get your brother Chase on the damn show.
Oh my God, yeah.
If he wins a feature race, he needs to be on that episode that week. I know he's not listening.
I'm not even gonna tell him that, because I'm just going to tell him after. Surprise.
Yes. So, Rick and Debbie, shush. Rachel, shush. Don't tell Chase. That's gonna be our little surprise for him. Like I said, there's still so much ready to go on. Like last week, have you seen pictures from Media Day for APC in Oswego?
Oh my God, yeah. I was gonna joke about how like I want to do that for the pier stocks at Flamborough, and I don't know what I would do with that footage, but that's so cool. Like
They
that's
get that
awesome.
next level professional feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's badass. I'm freaking loving this. Um, did you see Alan Downey's?
No, the only ones I saw were Kyle Steckley, Ray Morneau, and Ryan. Oh my God, why am I blanking? Hillier.
Yeah. I gotta remember what the team name is now. Oh, I saw it earlier. Oh, I'm so mad right now. And God, I suck at it. I freaking blanking on this. But Alan brought his kid.
Oh,
And I'm gonna look for this later. Maybe if I type in Downey, maybe that might help me out here. Yep, there it is. Found it. Yeah, come on. There it is. All right, I'm gonna send it to you a messenger right now so that way you can take a look at it later. I think it's absolutely cool. He's got his little boy with him. You know what? I'm not gonna say I'm gonna copy them or anything like that, but I'm thinking maybe next year. So next year, because of the wedding this year, I fell behind a lot of stuff I want to do. Plain and simple. I was supposed to have a media day this year. Didn't work
right.
out. What I am planning for next year is we are gonna have I'm gonna get rent a room somewhere
Mhm.
and we're gonna do it. This is 100% going down. I'm putting it all on paper, figuring out everything I need to do, and it's gonna happen next year. The Anyone who is a Joe Media driver is more than welcome to come out. Guaranteed. Whoever is gonna go with the gold package or this super duper special package that's gonna drop a little bit in a couple months here once I work out all my bugs on it. Um, they're gonna be invited to the same deal, but they're gonna have a little bit of extra stuff.
Mhm.
There's gonna be some videos, kind of like what I've seen from them today, to kind of gear up their race day vlogs.
Yeah.
So it's maybe not at the track. It's in a quiet environment. That way they can boom, boom, boom.
Mhm.
It's they're not forgetting things. They can take their time. We can take as many breaks, take as possible, stuff like that. But maybe I'm trying to think of something for how the intros for these videos can go. I think it might be
Right.
good. It might be worth it.
I think so. And
So
this kind of makes me wonder, like seeing this stuff because I saw it with like the APC guys, but then I saw like mini stock drivers at Oshwegan doing it. So it's like, is G Force? Because I saw it was GSR doing it. Is this going to be for G Force, like their regular Friday night
yeah,
program? Like that's going to up their, like they already have a really good program the way it's laid
yep,
out. And I think that's going to make it that much more professional with clips like that and give those drivers that extra. Like it makes me like, man, I want to go race at Ashwegan. Like that's so cool. That gives that professional feel.
absolutely it does. Um, so from what I saw, and of course I watched last week's episode of Race Rivals Race Chat, they were talking about that. They were saying how
Mhm.
the top 10 in points were and a couple special drivers. So the top 10 at Oswego in points last year were invited, as well as all APC drivers were invited.
That's awesome.
So we may be seeing some different things this year from G-Force in regards to their production, and I am here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the stuff that they're kind of doing, it kind of makes me think they're kind of doing like the NASCAR stuff when they throw it to commercial.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't throw it to commercial during a race.
No.
So like you can't really just throw up one of those little promo things. Now, if when they do the Racing America stuff, they might, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Will they throw it to commercial under red or under yellow flag conditions? Or are
That could
Adam and
be.
Clinton going to be having to do the whole thing? Right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's such a great idea. Again, we're always looking at ways to raise the to raise the professionalism of the drivers we have.
Yeah.
Our drivers are important to us. Like that, like we as like I've been preaching this for years. Tracks need to promote their drivers.
Big time.
It's yes, it's up to the drivers to promote themselves and their sponsors. That should be what your job is. But in social media posts, in radio, TV ads, whatever, promote your drivers.
It's like without those drivers, what do you have? What show do you have? So like, yeah, take care of them. Like we take care of the tracks by being there. It's like it's got to be that like team effort, I find.
Absolutely. It's the track, the track needs the racers and the track needs the fans.
Mhm.
But the track can't survive without racers or fans.
Exactly.
Right? Like I said, I freaking love what G-Force is doing for their drivers.
Yeah.
They're creating a level of professionalism. Even for the mini stock guys. Like
Mhm.
y'all pure stock guys and mini stock people, you guys are always wanting to have that big event to showcase you guys' abilities.
Mhm.
Because why the hell not?
And it's the entry division.
Yeah.
It's like you can't. I mean, you can go to a track for the first time and see a sprint car and be like, oh, I'm going to jump right into that. But it's like 9 times out of 10, you got to find that entryway. And it's like you need to showcase these entry divisions just as much as you are the big ones. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's important. And I think
Absolutely
put
it
on
is.
a heck of a show. So why not?
Again, pure stocks have gotten out of hand. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, mini stocks have gotten out of hand
Mm-hmm.
in the way the rules were set.
Yeah,
And again, that's the fault of the racers.
exactly.
That to me now they're just what super stocks are supposed to be. They're running super stock times.
Yeah.
Like
It's just mini super stock.
it soon
It's,
enough we can't like soon enough I feel like in the next 10 years, 5-10 years, we're gonna have to combine the pure stocks and the mini stocks.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna make all the pure stock guys up their rules. Are we going to go back to more of an entry style division? Are we going to detune all the mini stocks that have put in a bunch of work and money? Like
Yeah.
where are we drawing a line here?
I feel like you would, I mean, it's hard for me because I'm a pure stock driver. So, like, I favor the pure stocks for so many reasons. It's like, I
Yeah.
feel like you would kind of have to do this, like, I don't know how to, like, what word to describe it. Almost the way Sauble's done, going from combined fours to a pure stock class. It's like they're kind of allowing, like, a leeway with some of the ones that aren't technically pure stock rules, and it's kind of merging it but slowly
Yeah.
bringing it to that pure stock. It's like I feel like in years to come that's what they're going to have to do. And I mean, I've there's been conversations with track owners and promoters and stuff that I have heard of, and they're not too thrilled with the way these classes just keep getting out of hand. And it's like it's hard, and there's already a lot of asphalt divisions, in my opinion.
There absolutely there is.
A
Now,
lot.
is this where we need like a big Bill France again? Big like Bill France
Hmm.
Senior? Like he turned around to those drivers and would be like, if you don't like what I'm doing, go
Yeah.
find somewhere else to race.
Yeah.
Like he didn't care because there would be more than enough willing people. And that's back when they were getting 60, 70 cars.
Yeah.
Like, are we willing to for someone to step up and be like, no? Or are we just going to continue allowing things to, or do the promoters need to come together, create a unified rule book, an actual unified rule book, lock it in for 5 years?
Right. Yeah. That's true too.
Like, do we like what something needs to be done? And I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
The only people who do know what it is are because I'm just a guy with a microphone who likes to talk racing. Like that's I don't have much skin in the game. I know this. I'm not, but what I do know is there are people out there who know what's going on behind the scenes, who are
Mhm.
having these conversations. I know some people don't like the opinions others have. But someone needs to come together. Someone needs to come out here, stand up and be like, "Hey, this is the rule book that we're using for the next 5 years. Get on board or lose your or pretty much you're going to lose your track."
It's yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the mini stock division in Southern Ontario. It's like you have multiple tracks that are going by that same rule book, and it's kind of nice because it's like you can take your car to other tracks and not have to worry about, is my car legal?
And that
Is
should
it?
be the way it is.
Yeah.
Tracks shouldn't be fighting. Tracks should be fighting for to have their core group, but tracks should also have time off to allow drivers to have that opportunity to go to other tracks. Like we talked about this with Don York because he was
Mhm.
asking you, when are you bringing a car to Delaware?
Mhm.
Well, you race Friday nights.
Yeah.
You race Saturday nights at Flamborough. If you were to go turn around and come back to Flamborough, you guys by the time you guys get back to the shop, it's going to be 2-ish in the morning,
Yeah.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then yeah, you don't have to be there till to the gate till about 3 o'clock or so. But I know your family, you guys like to be first in line, so I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are there like 2 o'clock, 1:30. The
Exactly.
go-karters are still in the track.
Literally.
But
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
it just makes it tough when there's no off nights to allow you guys to be able to travel and sometimes you need to allow those guys to travel.
Mhm.
But some people want to run for points, some people do an outlaw schedule, and again, it's all up to people and what their choices are. I know a lot of people aren't. I know you're probably going to have a steady car count about 15, 16 cars,
Mhm.
but I only feel like maybe 7, 8 of them are going to run full time.
Yeah.
I That's a projection of mine. I don't know if that's true.
I can agree with that though.
And I hate to say it, but half those cars are going to be your cars.
Yeah, when you do the math. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
It's like at
But
this point it'll
I
be
hope
like,
that's not the case.
I hope not.
I
Well,
really hope not.
if I really think about it, it could be a little more than that if we're in technical. Because it's like we have four. BT has four full time, from what I'm understanding. And I know there's at least two other guys that are full time this year. So we'll have about 10
So you
that'll
have
be
about 10. So
I think we,
you guys should be averaging 20 to 22 cars a night.
yeah, which is still good.
And yeah, it's phenomenal, but how many of those are going to be really running full time? Like it's unfortunate. Like I do agree with Zach. Maybe a season should be on the high end 12 to 15 races.
Mhm.
A year gives you guys. I feel like you give a lot of people enough time to travel. Again, tracks need to come together, throw out big events,
Yeah.
and we're seeing big events come out. Like the Ontario Sportsman Series has the Ecotech Triple Challenge. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah.
That looks pretty damn cool. The Sunset Speedway has a junior late model,
Oh yeah.
Triple Crown kind of style race. Like there's a lot of big events happening for different divisions, but there's nothing for mini stocks or pure stocks except for the Allen Lincoln Cup up at Sunset.
Hmm. It's like Sauble's got a few for
Sauble's got two, but
beer stocks, but
they run both nice Flamborough runs.
yeah.
Because I know Brad. I was kind of joking with Brad a little bit because I had Mike up on the stage and I said, because Mike, I think Brad yelled, I was like, "You coming back to Sauble?" And he's like, and Mike's like, "If my schedule allows," and I brought up the schedule, and he he's scheduled to run Flamborough those nights.
Right.
Is he going to give up a points run to go run those races? This is where the tracks need to come together. You like just help each other out. Like
It's
that's all I would like. I'd just like to see everyone work together.
yeah. It's I don't know. I find it really tough. I've seen the argument about it on social media before, and it's like I see so many different sides from like track promoters and drivers and fans, and I'm like, everyone's gotta, I think, I'm like blanking on words tonight, like a respectable opinion about it.
Yeah,
It's like it's just it's hard. It's really hard.
it is. But I think it can be done. I hope it will be done. It's up to the
Mhm.
promoters and the owners,
Yeah.
right? Um, moving on here. Let's get away from this before we get in trouble. Uh, Megan, this year let's talk about you a little bit here because you're gonna be busy. 21
Yeah.
out of 23 nights.
Yeah.
Like, how are you guys ready to battle that long for 42 features this year?
I'll be honest. I've already contemplated. Like my goal this year is perfect attendance. Even if that means a start in park because I'm sick or something. Like and that's another thing like I don't know if I'm going to be sick or what's going to happen. But I've
Especially
already
you work in daycare. You work in childcare. You don't know what's gonna happen.
exactly I could get sick any given moment. So it's like I've contemplated it. Like is it worth like I mean in the long run for what Flamborough is offering, that's our whole goal for
Yeah.
perfect attendance, but it's like it's going to be busy. So I think it's going to be kind of a play, see as we go, you know, be
Yeah.
like, are we really up for this? But as of now, it's a go.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a go.
You never know. By halfway through, you could be like, yeah, let's go travel a little bit. Let's see these other tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a long season.
Mm-hmm.
Which gets underway next weekend at Flamborough Speedway. Get on out there for opening night. It should be one heck of a race. I think the weather is looking pretty decent for next Saturday. I'm actually gonna look it up right now. Oh, of
I'm,
course. Yep. Nope. I'm
yeah,
not gonna say it.
yeah. I've been watching.
It's 50%. Flip a coin. Flip a coin. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, it's. I really hope that doesn't. I kind of hope it does because I don't want to miss a night of racing.
I'll be honest. Like I thought the same thing. I'm like, if it rains out, I got an extra week to figure out my number. So
Or, I mean, yeah, that you could also travel up to Sunset Speedway, check out the Steve Slaughter race.
that's true.
Right? There's things you can do.
There's options.
I know I won't be able to go up to Sunset next weekend because our first race will be over at Delaware Speedway. I'm not even going to Flamborough yet.
Hmm.
First race of the season, I'm going to Delaware. I'm excited, first of all.
Mm.
I love Delaware. I love the fact like when you go to I'm sorry.
You ever been to Delaware yet or no?
I haven't.
Okay, you need to get your ass out there.
I do.
It is, well, first of all, a hell of a beautiful track. Um, you when you go into the infield there, you feel like you're in NASCAR. Like in my opinion, I feel like when I go in there, I feel like I'm in NASCAR
I can imagine.
because everyone pits on the infield. There's a pit road you can go stand out on.
Mhm.
There's so much going on. And if you don't want to be in the pits, guess what? After one of the races or one of the practices, hitch a right, go over to walk across the track and you go up into the grandstands.
Mhm.
Like you have access essentially to the whole facility at that point. And of course, I don't know if they still have it. If someone wants to let me know, I really hope they still have the Domino's pizza in the garage area because I kind of miss that. That was always my go-to when I went on Friday nights back in 2009, 2010 there. It was my go-to. Actually, it might have been 2011 too. I think it was 2011. When did that happen? No, I have a very bad experience when we're going to Delaware one time.
Yeah.
You know what? Because it's been long enough, I can joke about this now. You want a story time?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
I feel like I have not heard it.
All right, guys. So buckle up, get your popcorn ready. So this is 2011. I am crewing for David Elliott, and I went back for a victory lap in high school. In that semester, I took a drama class. Nope, wasn't that year. It was the 2010. I took so in my grade 12 year, I took a drama class. So I was like, you know what? I got free credits. Let's just instead of having a take off a free period, I was like, I couldn't go home. I lived in Erin, went to school in Guelph, didn't drive at the time. I had my G1 and stuff like that, but just anyways, in the second semester, there's not a lot of chances to quote unquote, as my teacher put it, perform in front of the students. So I'm like, okay, perfect. No chances to be embarrassed on stage. Lo and behold, my teacher was like, no, 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 no. You're not getting out of that easy. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She goes, well, on this date, we had a spring sale every year. The welding class would put stuff together. The agricultural section would have flowers they would put on sale. The baking section would have a bunch of baked goods, obviously. And then my teacher was like, you know what? We're gonna get y'all to perform. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, you get to pick songs from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. No today music, no 90s music.
Oh my God.
Okay. I was talking to my buddies. I'm like, dude, like, let's do Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Like, it'd be a great. I love the music's great, first of all, and I love the band. They all decided to go a different route. So I'm like, fine. And my teacher paired me and someone else. I forget her name. They paired me and her together. And my teacher's like, you can either pick this song or you can pick this song. I'm like, okay. And she's like, well, we're going to give you this song. I'm like, you didn't even give us a choice.
This is full of lies. Gosh.
So anyways, to this day, I still have, I still have fear of this song because every time I hear the song, the whole day replays in my head. So anyways, I was supposed to get on stage and I was supposed to lip sing Elton John and Kiki D's Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Here's the problem. My teacher had a very weird fascination, in my opinion, as a grade 12 student, with having the students step outside their comfort zone. Can you think of where I'm going with this, Megan?
I don't know, actually.
Okay, good. This is where the story gets great. I had to go up on stage and I wore a peach colored capri pants
Oh my God.
and a teal blouse and a headband because what hair was going to push back out of my eyes. And I had eyeliner and I had mascara on.
Oh my God.
Do you know where I'm going with this now, Megan?
Mm-hmm.
I was Kiki D, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The girl that was in the group was Elton John. Now, luckily I wasn't in another one of the groups because they actually had to wear tutus.
Oh gosh.
And they were doing Lollipop. You know, lollipop, lollipop, oh la la la. So I was supposed to get my redemption though. I had a buddy of mine who wasn't supposed to be there that day, who was at a baseball tournament and said he wasn't gonna make it. I'm like, perfect. They put me in his group and we were doing Raise a Little Hell by Trooper. And I had this thing planned out.
Oh my God.
So during the guitar solo, the guitar player, me, was supposed to jump off stage and we were having the principal front row center. And the guitar solo was going to be out to her. And she said, do whatever you want. Just don't touch her. I practiced on my teacher, right? I jumped 4 feet in the air, felt like 4 feet in the air, and then I came crashing down right in front of her, wailed out on the guitar, sticking my tongue out at her, putting the guitar right up to her kind of thing, just playing away. Walked to a few of my classmates. They were laughing. They were having a great time. Went back up on stage. Then my buddy showed up and he's just like, that day, and he's like, oh, I made it. I'm like, you, and his group was like, no, we don't want him. We want John. I'm like, I want to be too, because this was going to be fun. He didn't do anything he was supposed to do.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I had everything planned out where I was almost going to get suspended for it.
Oh my God.
So anyways, I had to go racing that night because it was a Friday. I know.
I feel okay, maybe I have heard this story, but like not to that full extent.
So we still had to go racing that night. So after we were done the performance, I ran over to the sink and I was first of all, my girlfriend at the time was the one who did the mascara, and her best friend did it to help me out as well, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've never done it in my life. So I'm like, help. So anyways, they were like, okay, well, John, this is what we're going to do. I'm like, okay. Afterwards, I couldn't find them. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, I'm standing at the sink just trying to wash it off. I wore sunglasses the whole night. Literally, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm still wearing sunglasses. So, I got some embarrassing stories. Maybe we'll touch on a few of those going down the road here.
Make like a segment.
There's embarrassing moments with Jomo. Well, guys, that's just gonna do it for us. We're gonna do it right at the end of the show, just for just for fun. Sorry, I had to burp there for a second. Megan, where can they catch you guys on social media?
Instagram is mrc.racing.73. TikTok is mrcracing73. And Facebook is just MRC Racing. Awesome.
And you guys can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and as well as joemedia.ca at Joe Media and Promotions. Thank you guys for checking out the True North Racing podcast presented by Driving With Hailey. Thank you to our other sponsors, Graphic Design Studios and Taylor to You Media Designs. That's going to do it for us for this week of the True North Racing podcast. We hope you guys check us out in the future. Thank y'all for listening. For Megan Mitchell, I'm John Morrison. We'll see y'all next time. Bye now. Smell the gas and feel the vibe. Going into overdrive. Drop the flag, then the car zooming by. Hey, True North Racing. Let's go.